welcome to another episode of Black at ND. We're here with my co-host, Daut'e and Emorja. How you guys doing?
Good.
We making it. What, like 2 more weeks left of school?
I know.
Yeah.
No, for real. 'Cause this is April's here. It was just January.
Yeah.
Feel
Yeah.
end of an era.
Yeah.
You've been here for like 2 decades, right? 80 years.
You know what? You know what?
You've been here since the early 2000s, right?
Almost though, while you playing.
It feels like,
Almost.
honestly, I've seen things like change. I mean, we went from one old building from Crowley, which is where the music building used to be. I graduated. It's hard. I graduated during the transition period because in 2017 we moved from that building to O'Neill. I saw Duncan, being built.
Really?
Yeah. So I remember this was like just dirt. We came out here, we took a picture, and yeah.
But then how old are you?
30.
So then like, if you've been here for like 7 years,
Going
right?
on 7 years, yeah.
So
August
like a
7.
significant part of your life has been at
I didn't plan
Notre
it.
Dame.
I really didn't plan it. And I even asked myself, like, why? But I mean, I know why. But I'm like, how?
Yeah, no, it's the how for sure.
Yeah. But I have. And it's funny. I grew up here. I became more of a man here in this town. But I'm looking forward to moving on, honestly.
Yeah.
I am. But shoot, you've had a little bit of some experience. I know you've been here for 4 years, but you've had experience.
For sure. I've definitely grown here, and I just find it so interesting that, like, I can't even imagine what Notre Dame, or at least this space, will look like right now without Duncan.
I don't know what was even out.
I've
Dirt,
never conceptualized
like-
it.
I mean, I know the stadium
Was it
was
just
here.
the Bear Stadium?
Yeah, it sounds like the Bear Stadium. Like, I can't, my mind cannot even piece that together, but for sure.
It was out of space.
Yeah, it's
thought-
all just space.
I thought them domers like from the 80s for real. Now thanks a lot, Euda.
Erda's trying to make us feel
Definitely
old
interview
because she's
about-
only been here for 1 year, so
Listen.
she wants us to relive all
It's
this
okay.
ghetto-ness.
It's all right.
That's the thing. I haven't seen any changes. I haven't seen I've not been here long enough, and I won't be. I'm like,
She said,
Right, she's like not
it's
having
very
I'm not
limited.
staying here for 7 years. I'm not going. Don't put that on me.
No.
I just,
Yeah, it's interesting.
Don't jinx yourself while something's gonna happen.
I did this, so that means I'm clear.
It's gonna cause you to stay here longer than you thought.
I'm
'Cause
telling you.
I was just telling a freshman, because we were just talking about a lot, and she asked me about dating, and I'm like, look, Notre Dame has a way of surprising you, and I just think that goes all the way around. Like, you will say something, and then Notre Dame's like, here's this opportunity you said you would
I
never
hope I
do.
don't get $1 million.
Yeah. I know, right?
If this is how it works,
100 million.
I would hate to find $1 million on this couch.
Well, actually, we're sitting on $1 million.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I can maybe shoot even more than that. Like, just think about how much this whole building costs and the equipment. One thing I've noticed since I've been here, I've come across students, of course, undergraduate, myths or thoughts, but also graduate. I say that because there's this whole, not even an urban legend, but this whole thing that undergrads say that they don't walk on the steps of the main building.
I don't even know
Because
what
they
the
want to
main
graduate.
building is. This is the level of.
The Golden Dome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have.
What-
It's done for me.
You've been
I'm
to
not
the
gonna
Golden Dome.
graduate. I know.
Yes.
I've walked on the steps. Is what I'm saying.
Well, because they say you don't graduate. I'm like, I've graduated like once already. I'm going to do it again. But is this what you came in with?
Yes, and I've
Okay.
actually never walked up the steps because I'm like, at one point,
Who started that?
I don't know, but everybody was just like, oh, it's a Notre Dame tradition. And it was also like something about walking across God Quad. And it was one day, I was like, to hell with that, I'm gonna walk across God Quad. I'm gonna graduate regardless. But I definitely don't walk up the steps because I don't
Is there
wanna
like a
jinx
back way?
myself.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
a
there's
back
a back way. There's a side way. You can go across the side. Yeah, they're accessible in that way.
Go
But
through
like,
the front door,
Listen,
looking them dead in the eye,
I don't know
and
why
then
someone started
graduate.
that. Like, that's so crazy. Because I'm like, every building should be accessible for students, but why is that building the main one?
Every single college has a thing.
That
where
is
it's
true.
like in my
That is
undergrad,
true.
it was like there was a mosaic on the floor that said like FAU on it, and then if you walked across the mosaic, you're not gonna graduate.
wow.
I feel like every single college has a thing. But it was like a, what is it,
So.
admitted students visiting weekend?
Yes,
Yeah, I think so many
that's what
people
I'm
here.
gonna talk
Like,
about
what's
today
happening?
too.
Let's start
Is this
with
spring
your topic,
visitation?
Dee.
Is that what this is considered?
What
I'm
is
sorry?
it?
Is that considered spring visitation, what's happening now, or something?
Yeah,
completely different?
basically. Yeah, because it normally happens in April, so yeah.
Okay.
There's like normally 2 sessions. I feel like this is the second one.
Okay.
Have you interacted with the new children?
I haven't. So the thing is, I signed up to do things this weekend, and everything fell to the crack. I was like, oh, I felt bad because I hate signing up for things that I don't do it.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's okay. I'm gonna walk past one of these children, and they're gonna end up stopping me like always, and we end up having a conversation. But I've been seeing them walking around with their little passes, and it makes them look so like babies. I hated that little pass when it was my turn. I was like, I'm not wearing this. Y'all are ostracizing me and already ostracizing plays. No, thank you. But I was thinking about that because right now there are about 600 plus prospective students who are currently deciding if Notre Dame is their space, place, whatever have you.
Yeah.
And my question to you guys is, considering everything that you know about Notre Dame and all of y'all's experiences, would you send your child to the University of Notre Dame?
I already knew what you were going to ask.
Would I send my children to Notre Dame?
Oh.
That's a really good question.
I think it depends
And
on
why? Explain why and why not.
In a 5-paragraph essay.
Literally.
I think it depends on if you were talking about right now, like, I think I would. Like, if I were to spontaneously give birth to an 18-year-old, like, I think I would recommend that my children, because I think the, like, what is it, risk to reward ratio. Let me take that back.
Uh-oh.
Because undergrad is different. It's different.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I don't know that I would recommend this for an 18-year-old in 2022. Like, I just don't, like, I think if you don't know who you are, and if you are, like, a person of color, I don't know how I would give birth to anyone else who's not a person of color. Like, you might not have the best time here, and there are colleges where you will both get the prestige and the, like, a good time and not, you know, be traumatized.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I would recommend it. But for grad school, I would.
Grad school, yeah, it's funny you mention that. Yeah, undergrad, because I don't, as much as I tell, you know, people that I've spoken to are undergrad, I don't know what the undergraduate experience is like. For some reason, I was coming from the library yesterday where I saw some, you know, students, and they were like about, say they're like 13, you know, white people, and there was one black guy, and I saw him from a distance. And as I was walking out, they were coming to the library, I was walking out. I saw him look at me out of the corner of his eye, and I was like, "What's up, bro?" I said, "I got you. I know how you feel."
Yeah.
Just those moments to let him know, like, okay, there are other black people out here. And whenever I was I was driving out of the parking lot, I said, now I feel as if I can see the barrier between undergraduate and graduate experience. And I said, because it's just knowing that, like you said, as a graduate student, you know, it's a different lifestyle. You don't have to be on campus, you don't have to go to all these parties, you don't have to do the dorm thing. You're not trying to build a community in that aspect.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, because you are on campus and they want you to get that college life experience, the college life experience is different for different cultures. Like what makes a college life experience is finding, like, well, one, find the community, building friendships that can hopefully last you a lifetime. You know, here at this point, you know, we build friendships, you know, all the grad students, but it's a different thing, different responsibilities.
The main thing is I know who I am. Like, I remember when I was 18, graduating from high school, about to head off to college, I just had no idea. Like, do you know what I mean? I could have been influenced by anything, anywhere, whatever, right? And I think this is what's happening to undergraduates coming into Notre Dame, is that they're being influenced by this huge institution that you have no safeguards against their BS. Like, none at all, right? And so I just, like, for a grad student, you're old enough, you've had enough life experiences where everything could go wrong in Notre Dame and you'll be fine. But for undergrad, if everything goes wrong, like, that really might ruin your whole life.
And
that vulnerable position, there are plenty of other schools around the United States where you can get a great undergraduate education and then be totally fine.
No, I agree. What would you do?
No.
You went through undergrad here.
The very simple, short, sweet answer is no. It's a huge no. For graduate school, it's a maybe as well. Like, I'm not even sure. I feel like.
Would you come back around for graduate school?
Would I come back to Notre Dame for graduate school? I'm gonna answer yes because I've
double
already.
Domer,
like
Kate behind the camera.
It's like, 7 out of 10 experience, okay? Definitely for graduate school, because I know what this space feels like, looks like there would be no curveball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think when I think about my experiences, especially my freshman and sophomore experiences, like, oh my God, the risk to reward, it was so much risk. I was like, I am risking a lot right now. Now as a senior sitting here in this seat, I'm like, okay, it was kind of worth it. Pat on the back, you're almost done.
Yeah.
But like, I really wanted to get the heck up out of here every single day. I was like, Deontay, is this worth it? Are you sure? Another school could be making you way more happier than what you are now. And so I'm like, no, especially if I know that my child may or may not be sure of themselves, or like they may experience some type of ableness, or like, I would not want to send my child here. It's very elitist, and people do and say things all the time around here that will really surprise you and really question if you're sitting in the 21st century. So, no.
Would you make the same choice again? Again, knowing everything that you know. Would you accept to come to Notre Dame as an undergrad?
Now, that's a very good question. And I'm going to say yes.
Yeah?
Because my path is my path. Like, and I literally just wrote this.
It's made you who you are.
It's made me, you know, kind of like that cliche thing. But
I get it.
But like, no, seriously, I wrote in my thesis, I was like, because I talk about how I wanted to go to a HBCU, and I had never considered going to a PWI at all. I was like, to be honest, I would not trade especially the education I received here for my favorite 2 HBCUs that I wanted to go to. I wouldn't trade that. I wouldn't, you know, I regret a lot of things, but I don't regret coming to Notre Dame. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I hated it. You live and you learn, and I've learned, and now I'm finna live, you know?
I feel it. No, that's interesting. No, that is interesting. You know, I spoke to some people recently who went to this HBCU like seminar they did at one of the schools here, and a panel full of, you know, about like 10 panelists. You know, some from South Bend who went to Jackson State. A few who went to, I don't want to say the wrong school, but then she's on my Facebook page now. But anyway, so yeah, different HBCUs. Yes. And they were saying how, you know, coming up in this area, they were never taught that HBCUs existed. And so they were like, you know, maybe like their family, you know, they knew that like their grandparents went to an HBCU, so they followed, they followed that path. And it's so interesting how you really don't hear much promotion of HBCUs in this area. I don't know what the high schools are like, but the young girl who was in the at the seminar, she also was doing something nowadays. She just created a Black Student Union. I believe it was at Riley, if I'm not mistaken. And I, you know, connected her with Black at ND because I said it's really good you're doing that, because students need to know what's out there. Because I don't know if the South Bend idea is to say, hey, if you can get to Notre Dame, you can get into anywhere. But that should not be the thought. If that even is, like, Notre Dame is not the end all be all. And so it really makes me wonder how much people really know about HBCUs.
I definitely did not know about HBCUs when I was in high school applying for colleges. Like, did not know anything of those terms. Like, and my high school was in a super white area. Like, you know what I mean? Just never interacted with that term. Ironically, so the school that I went to is, I don't think it's majority white. It's not an HBCU, but it has a lot of diversity because South Florida. Like, it just is what it is, right? Like, the largest student organization at my undergraduate college was the Haitian organization, which I was like super proud of. Right? And so then it wasn't until, so I went to that, my undergrad, and then I went and visited FSU, Florida State University in Tallahassee, and then I was at a football game, like, you know, a huge classic American football game, and then looking out across all of these white students, and like the FSU like thing they do is this.
Or something
right? Like, and so literally 30,000 kids going like this all at once, 30,000 white kids. And I was like, this is a lot. And I was talking to my friend about it, and she was like, yeah, this is a PWI. And I was like, what's a PWI? And she was like, it's a predominantly white institution. And then she explained what HBCU was. And literally, it took me visiting a PWI for me to realize HBCUs are out here and they exist.
But the funny thing about it is, like, FAMU is right down the road or right across the street from FSU.
I had heard of FAMU. I just didn't know it was an HBCU or the concept that, you know.
And can I explain why? Well, I can't explain it because it's not even my term, but there's this thing called the racial grammar. It's by, his last name is like B. Sylvia. I only know the second one. But he basically says racial grammar is grammar that upholds the standards of white supremacy. So we don't say that like, oh, Notre Dame is a historically white college. We just consider it a regular university or college until we say, you know, predominantly white. And then we're like, oh, that's a HBCU, a historically black college. But no, it's a regular college just like this one is. It's just historically it was for black people because black people were excluded from white colleges. So now every time I use Notre Dame in my paper, I say historically white. It is not predominantly white because white people just love to go here. It's historically white because this space historically excluded people that aren't white, you know? So I'm like,
I feel it.
A little learning point.
No, seriously though.
Racial grammar, that's y'all term y'all learned for the day.
Take that one home. Yeah. Did you have a topic, Emorja?
Mine was more so, mine was like really off the wall. What water do y'all drink?
I'm sorry?
Oh, what water do you drink?
I am not a water elitist. I know this is like a thing. So many people are like, specifically my brother is like, I only drink Aquafina. Every other water is trash. Like, don't give me Dasani. Don't give me whatever.
I agree on that.
And I'm like, this water is water. The whole point of water is that it has no flavor, and I will fight you to the end.
All water is different. All water is different, I promise. Because I mean, I don't drink Dasani. I mean, if I have to drink Dasani, that means I'm dying.
Literally, or Notre Dame offered it.
Right.
No.
Or Aquafina. It's been a long time since I've even touched an Aquafina bottle. I'll probably burn. I don't know.
I drink tap water. I drink Aquafina. I drink Voss.
I'm a filter as well, too.
Whatever,
Oh, Lord. I'm so against the filter thingy things that everybody buys and they put the water in there. I'm like,
oh, see, I don't do that. I have the one that actually like is part of the
part of the refrigerator.
no, the part of the sink.
Oh, you're fancy. You're right. I did see that at your house.
I mean, if you're here for 7 years, you gotta change the house around.
Hey, you got to. I don't know because like there's Aquafina, there's Dasani, there's Smart Water, there's oh gosh, what is the Icelandic or something like that. And they also have Smart Water like
Ridiculous.
alkaline, pH,
I love
PhD,
water.
DMA.
So you guys drinking flavored water?
Oh, I hate those.
I really don't
totally
like
against flavored water. I'm like, if I'm gonna drink water, I'm just gonna drink water. Like, I'm not.
Right, it's either juice where it's full flavor or water where it's no flavor. This in between
has to stop.
See now, y'all might drink this kind of stuff, but I cannot drink that seltzer water.
Yeah, me neither.
Me either. Oh no.
It's a growing thing. Everyone
Kate, do you drink seltzer water? Oh.
Good.
I was saying, if you do. I'm like, it gives me all the bubbles. It makes me think that I'm drinking something like a Sprite.
It doesn't taste good. It tastes bad.
Yeah.
Like, just on taste alone. On taste, it doesn't taste good.
That's why I don't like people who drink White Claws. If you drink White Claws, you are not allowed to turn up with me, period.
Oh my God, yeah.
White Claws are just caffeinated, bubbly water with a drip of alcohol. I'm like, it's not giving what it's supposed to give.
Don't like it.
But back to his original thing, we're gonna die on this hill of water elitism because I don't do faucet water. Like, I hate tap water.
Oh, I drink tap water every day, bro. I haven't died yet.
Did you grow up drinking tap water?
Exactly.
I feel like this is my thing. Growing up in Haiti, I have all the bugs that I can have. I've gotten all the things, so now I can handle everything. I can handle everything. I don't drink the tap water at my house in Florida. Like, specifically, we have like groundwater, and it's disgusting. Like, it is not good. There's a scent. We have to have a state-of-the-art like filtering system like for the water, and even then, like, we still like don't use it for drinking. But here in South Bend, I drink it. In New York, I drink it. And literally everywhere else, I drink that tap water without thinking about it, and it doesn't taste any different.
Erda is gonna be leading the world on peace and sustainability, baby, because it is just some things. Like, I'll do my part in certain areas. I'll make sure I don't litter. I'm trying to recycle. But there's certain things about
if I had to give up my bottles of Aquafina,
I would find glass bottles to make it work or something. But like,
no, it's funny you mention that because water in glass tastes different from water in plastic. At least to me, it does.
Bro, what? No, come on. Come on. I could give you Aquafina tastes different from Dasani. I could give that to you. Hard, but I could give it.
Glass, it just that's like takeout food versus eating a restaurant. Like if I go to Olive Garden and I get the tour of Italy, I eat it there. It's like so good. If I take it home, it tastes different.
There's a time.
I mean, like,
but the water in the glass and the water in the cup.
If I've been outside playing soccer or football or running track, water in a glass is going to taste so much better than water that's just like in a bottle.
Couldn't be me.
I don't know if I agree with that on that case. I will say that if you put Dasani in a glass bottle and give it to me, I'm still gonna know it's Dasani.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, that's how good I am with water that I can tell what Dasani
It's like an
automatically.
aftertaste.
Yes.
It's like a.
It's salty. It has it got a little punch to it.
It's water. What's the flavor?
Maybe I should drink water in Haiti, and I'll be like, okay, Emorja, chill.
And then you'll throw up and.
I don't even drink the water things that we have available here. You know how you put the water.
I love those things.
I'm so biased against those.
Oh, really?
I only drink them if I have a lot of ice in my container. That way, like if it's cold water, I just drink it fast because I love cold water. But I do not trust those things. No.
Now, see, I'll use those, but most of the time, the bottle I have can't fit under there anyways.
Wow.
Interesting.
It's me. I just really don't trust anything anymore.
I haven't died yet. I've been drinking this tap water this whole time. I've been drinking every water glass that's been handed to me without question.
You know
I'm so proud of you because she literally has me questioning whether I grew up poor. She literally has me questioning whether I grew up poor, and I've had to fetch buckets of water before, 5-gallon buckets of water before, because we didn't have water at the time. So I'm like, wow, I still didn't drink tap water?
But I was gonna say, is this why you think you're like this now? Is that you had this past trauma, and so now you're like, I can afford to be elitist, so I
guess so. I'm like, baby, I done did it without water, electricity, sometimes food, so I think I'm just like,
for me.
I'm like, I'm not finna, sorry.
You're not going back.
I feel that because like even like during hurricane season, I can remember like when the power was out, and you know all we had was like tap water. I mean, I drink it. I was a kid. I had no choice anyways. So I mean.
So then it's fine, Emorja.
I had no choice. I was a kid, and I didn't know about the different waters.
Oh my God.
But you know what? I would not drink the water in Flint right now. I at least can say that.
And we too close to Flint. That's what I thought about freshman
Actually,
year.
that
I was
part.
like, we're not that far from Flint, Michigan. I was like,
Someone tested our pipes.
Exactly.
But
I'm
again,
like,
here I am, 2 semesters later after drinking all this water. Haven't grown a third arm yet.
No, I don't trust it. Notre Dame definitely has some questionable water fountains in here that have water that tastes a little funny.
I would drink freely from them.
I'm telling you. You know, I saw them.
I'm gonna buy her a bottle of water for me.
Do it. No, but don't even talk about like just check, just take the whole brand. She won't even know anything.
Yes. I'm gonna just take the wrappers off, and I'll be like, look, you don't even know what kind it is. You won't tell whether I got it from tap.
I'd be like, gulp, gulp, gulp.
or the springs. And you know there's like major differences. So I've been looking at like different waters because there's this water machine that like inserts carbon and filters it, but it's a whole new machine. And I've been thinking about getting it for my like next healthy life when I graduate, right?
Next healthy life.
Yes, my next healthy life. And I've like read the differences on how they like make water. So if your water says spring, like depending on how it's made, it's like you could be drinking tap water. So you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta really pay attention to what brands you're picking up and how they're manufacturing these. I was like, what's the word for it? Yes, manufacturing these things.
Listen, I feel it. I want to read something to y'all before we got out of here. So this is what I came across like randomly on Facebook one day. It was pretty interesting. It says, Dad's note to gay son that hasn't came out yet. And it says, Nate, I overheard your phone conversation with Mike last night about your plans to come out to me. The only thing I need you to plan is to bring home orange juice and bread after class. We are out, like you now. I've known you were gay since you were 6, and I've loved you since you were born. Dad. P.S. Your mom and I think you and Mike make a cute couple. I was like, that was really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, so of course, you know, for any parents might be watching this, if you have a child who, they all say parents know. So I guess that was just something interesting. So people have different, different journeys or different struggles with coming out to their parents. So just be kind.
But I think this brings up the like don't say gay bill, like in Florida.
Yo, explain this to me really quick.
Me as the policy person.
No, you as the system.
Right. No, I literally, like from what I've heard of it, it's literally like if your teacher is some other, like first of all, they're just not allowed to talk about gender identity, like at all in the school at all, right? And then if your teacher like finds out that you are gay, that they have to then reveal it to your parents. Like, they have to out you, like to your parents. It's like a safety thing, which is so messed up, right? And it is like a thing where I think parents do know, and then you as a child like should get to have that choice of when you're gonna come out, right? Like no matter how much they know or don't know. And then you also kind of know your parents, and you know, like there's a lot of people with the kind of relationships where like we just are not gonna talk about it, right? We know, you know, we're never gonna bring this up. And now your teacher's gonna bring this up, and now it's gonna like cause a whole problem. And it's just, this is not protecting children.
No.
Is there a grade level that this is associated with, or just
I think it's
schools?
I think it's literally K through 12. Like
I really wonder, like,
in...
would a kindergartner even know? Like, at what age do you? And this, I don't know. I really don't know. But what age would you have this conversation with a child?
It's like, what age did you know you were heterosexual? I'm assuming something of you here.
I guess things just happen. I guess you just sort of just life. You just sort of
right? Like your whole life, you kind of know, right? And I think it's the same, but I don't know.
No one ever says, "Hi, I'm heterosexual."
Right?
But that's not the norm for heterosexual, I don't even know the ism, whatever. But like if you're bi, gay, straight, that's like, hi everybody, I'm not normal.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
like,
saying? So
come out to people.
I was like, I was so dead with that. When my people found out, they found out. I was never gonna be like, oh, here I am just putting myself out for them. Like, here's mom, you saw me with a girl, now that was that. And my mom's like, okay, like my mom never, when I was growing up, she always let us know that she would accept us for whatever we were. I didn't know what the hell that meant at the time, but now I clearly understood what she meant, you know, and I definitely. But I wish that people have those type of relationships with those parents, because a bill like that could very much send somebody into domestic abuse, homelessness.
Yeah, truly.
Truly. It's upsetting.
It's so upsetting because there is a lot of problems with our schooling system right now. There's a teacher shortage. There's all these like kids coming off the pandemic who are like don't know how to act because they've been at home for 2 years, who aren't socialized, like all these things. And this is what we're doing.
This is what
like
we're
what we're
focusing
gonna
on?
do is be mad at gay kids. Like this is, hey, come on now. Like, it really annoys me. But yeah.
Welcome to America. Listen, y'all. That's all for today. Thank you for checking us out. Make sure to go like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time.